Electric guitar. Few instruments are able to produce such an enormous palette of sounds. There are literally millions of guitar players all over the world, each spending tons of money on instruments, pickups, amps, and effects to create their very own individual tone. Yet when it comes to recording, many guitarists channel their precious tone through whatever dynamic microphone they have on hand, as if there is no better option. Welcome back to the Neumann Home Studio Academy. In this tutorial series, we're looking at how to record electric guitar. In the previous episode, we talked about setting up your instrument and trying to find the best position for your microphone. In this episode, we would like to compare several microphones, trying to find the best microphone that captures your individual guitar tone at its best, in all its complexity. There are reasons why we care so much about guitar tone. The frequency range of the electric guitar is almost identical with that of the human voice. And that makes us extremely sensitive to even the finest nuances. We're able to recognize a guitarist after a few notes, just like we're able to identify a person on the telephone by their hello. Yeah, your guitar tone is an extension of your personality. It reflects your style, it reflects your character. So let's try to find the microphone that catches your sound best. The first microphone we're going to look at is the Sennheiser MD421. This is a high-quality dynamic microphone that has been around for more than 50 years. It's an established standard for guitar recording. On the other side of the speaker, we place a large diaphragm condenser microphone. This is the Neumann TLM103. A modern studio standard that you can use for almost anything. Almost anything? Let's try what it does on electric guitar. By the way, we have positioned these microphones exactly halfway between the center and the edge of the speaker. Exactly 10 centimeters, 4 inches away from the amplifier. Okay, let's compare them. This is the MD421. Let's move on to the Neumann TLM103. You may be surprised that the dynamic mic sounds a bit brighter than the condenser microphone. Well, that's because, like most dynamic microphones, the MD421 has a strong presence boost in the upper mids. Guitar speakers only go to about 7 kHz, so the treble frequencies of an electric guitar are really upper mids. The TLM103 has a more gentle presence boost. That's why it sounds smoother than the dynamic microphone, yet somehow more detailed. It also has a deeper, more powerful low end. Our next two candidates are both small diaphragm condenser microphones. On your left, you have the Neumann KM184, which is a high-quality all-purpose instrument microphone. On your right, you have the Neumann KMS104, which is a stage microphone, primarily for vocal use. Let's compare these. You ready? Okay, this is the KM184. Let's move on to the KMS 104. It's not bad, is it? People rarely use small diaphragm condensers in front of a speaker cabinet, but as you've just heard, they're really worth a try. In fact, the KM184 gives a pretty accurate representation of what the guitar sounds like in this particular room. The KMS104 is essentially similar, though its low end may not be as powerful. But you could compensate for that by placing the mic closer to the cabinet. Okay, now what if you would like to have one microphone for clear rhythm guitar and another microphone for distorted power chords and leads? Well, you could always record both microphones on two separate tracks. It will give you a lot of options during mixdown. You could use either track alone, or you could mix them both together to create a whole palette of different sounds and different colors. For our next example, we're going back to the ever-popular Sennheiser MD421 dynamic microphone. We'll pair it up with the Neumann TLM102, which is another large diaphragm condenser microphone. This model is a bit smaller and more affordable than the TLM103 we've used previously. Nonetheless, it's a true Neumann made in Germany. Yep. Okay. Right. Now, let's compare these two. This is the MD421 again for you. Right? Let's move on to the Neumann TLM102. Obviously, both mics sound different. The dynamic mic has a grainy kind of brightness that gives a nice edge to those blues licks. The TLM102 condenser microphone sounds surprisingly smooth and has a deep yet defined low end. That's great for power chords and fat leads. To create an even greater sound palette to choose from, we could emphasize each microphone's sound character. If we move the dynamic microphone a little bit further up to the center of the speaker, we will get an even brighter tone. If we move the condenser microphone a bit further up to the edge of the speaker, it will achieve a smoother sound. To avoid phase issues, it's a good idea to place both microphones at the same distance from the cabinet. That way, we'll avoid unwanted comp filter effects when we mix both signals. Okay. Right. Let's listen to both microphones, first alone, and then as a combination. So as you can hear, combining two microphones gives you a lot of options to choose from. Mixing two microphones usually works better than applying EQ in your recording software. It just sounds more natural. To conclude, It really is worth a try to put condenser microphones on your electric guitar, either as an additional option or as an alternative to dynamic microphones. A good condenser microphone will capture your individual guitar tone accurately. Plus, you can use the same microphone for vocals, for acoustic guitar, and lots more. So much for now. Thank you very much for watching, and whatever you do, enjoy recording your guitar. We'll see you soon at the Neumann Home Studio Academy. Howdy hoot!